being generous to the church was kind of easy for both of us. Whenever we had that conversation, what do we feel like giving to the church? Because we both kind of came up in families that were generous to the church and received a lot back from the church.
Well, we both had talked about how times, as a little kid, we would want to put the money in the offering plate every Sunday. Like, I want to bless others because I was blessed. When I was 5 and a half in 1997, my dad was electrocuted while working at his job. And he went for 9 minutes without oxygen because the emergency responders could not get to him. And so because of that, he had significant brain damage, and he was also impaired physically. So he was wheelchair bound for the remainder of his life. And so we really relied on our church a lot. We would go to church and we would get that fulfillment that we needed. But also, we realized just how blessed we were to have a church that provided the needs for us without us even asking. Like my mom was telling someone we don't have a driveway to push Larry down, and he loved to be outside. And so they said, done. And within the next week, we had a driveway poured. My mom told me how much sacrifice was involved on the church's end. And so I wanted to make sure that that's something that I wanted to provide for my church whenever that time came. It's so important for me to give to our church because I know all of the things that our church is doing to help the greater community, whether it's Revive 225, whether it's Hype, whether it's a family like my own who is going through some sort of turmoil. The church has always been there, and if it's not for the act of giving and trusting that the church is going to do what is necessary with the funds, then we maybe wouldn't have gotten the experience that we had.
It's just kind of ingrained in our family. That's giving is what you do, and I get a ton of joy out of giving. That's kind of my love language is acts of service. So I love providing my talents and efforts to people. So that's how we got here. We kind of looked at giving to the church kind of like giving to your 401k. And we kind of made this rule that, okay, things might change in our budget, but we're going to make it a point not to reduce the amount that we contribute to our 401k or contribute to the church.
But I also think it's so important for the act of consistent giving because, like Josh said, it brings us so much joy to know that what we are providing to the church is helping somebody, and it is furthering the mission of Christ, and that is the number one.